Hello YouTube, Anna Bella here, and today I'm going to be doing 2 vampire book reviews and also a film review, but first I'm going to do a quick quote, and it says, "You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream." C.S. Lewis. I'm going to be talking about these 2 books and this film, but first I'm going to ask you a question. Do you like this new reviewing method? Because I kind of like having the picture of me in like little postage stamp and the books there, so you kind of get the best of both worlds. Let me know in the comments below if you think this new method is working, because I think it is. Okay, the first book I'm going to look at is Interview with a Vampire. This book blew all vampire fiction out of the water. This was the first time that we actually got the vampire story from the perspective of the vampire rather than the victim. So vampires were still sexy, they were still devilish, they still drank blood, but now we got to understand the psyche and the personality and the character of the vampire, which then enabled us to have that wonderful Bram Stoker Dracula, where Dracula was played by Gary Oldman. There we go, Gary Oldman, and from his perspective, because before that we'd had Christopher Lee playing Dracula wonderfully, absolutely wonderfully, and all these others, but Dracula was a monster, and monsters needed to be killed, and victims needed to be saved, and Van Helsing was the hero. In this was the first time that we actually heard the vampire story, how he became, what he became, and it's awesome. And it also gave us the Brat Prince Lestat, and the Whining Prince Louis and Claudia. It is awesome. And that's all I'm going to say. We wouldn't have True Blood without this. We certainly wouldn't have Angel and Spike from Buffy, or Drusilla or Darla from Buffy. We wouldn't have the Being Human vampires, Mitchell and Hal, without Anne Rice. The list is endless. Absolutely endless. And it also gave us the first problem of the child vampire, which is a huge problem, which Buffy dealt with in... which Buffy had a problem with a child vampire, and this, that, the other, because children grow, they don't stay small forever. It's awesome, recommend you read it, and the rest of the chronicles, really. That's what I'm going to tell you. Main character is Louis, another main character is Lestat, and another main character is Claudia. Also, it made a wonderful film, with Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt in. It was brilliant. That's what I'm going to say about that. The next book that I'm going to talk about is also game-changing for vampires. We wouldn't have True Blood vampires, so no Eric, no Bill, no Pam, without Interview with a Vampire, I might point out, and any other interesting vampire story. We certainly wouldn't have them if it wasn't for this book. Anne Rice is phenomenal. Let the Right One In is another game-changer for the vampire book. It is awesome. It also features on early adolescence. So you've got a young boy and a young girl? Question mark. I'm not going to say any more about that because it's awesome. So this is the novel. It was originally written in Swedish, and I've got the Swedish film here, which was Let the Right One In. I recommend watching the Swedish movie even with English subtitles because it's brilliant. You do not need to see the Let Me In Western remake, because that's rubbish. Let the Right One In is brilliant. This is obviously a translation in English of Let the Right One In. The Let the Right One In, the inspiration behind Let Me In. This is an English translation of Let the Right One In. Let Me In is the Western film, English film. But I recommend you read the book and you watch the Swedish film. You do not need to see Let Me In. You need to see Let the Right One In. And it is epic. It's brilliant. And I'm going to read you the blurb of the book. And it's... He's a 12-year-old outsider, bullied at school, dreaming about his absentee father. Bored with life on a dreary housing estate, one evening he meets a mysterious girl. A friendship blossoms between them. He discovers her dark secret. She is a 200-year-old vampire, forever frozen in childhood and condemned to live on a diet of fresh blood. It is absolutely amazing. And that's all I'm going to say. So clearly it is a 15, and Interview with a Vampire is an 18. So enjoy!